Hey vinyl community, welcome back to the Personal Oasis. This is Blind Island Reviews. I've got my coffee, and today we are going to be taking a look at Howlin Wolfs' 1969 album for the Cadet label, the Howlin Wolf album. This was made with the members of the Rotary Connection, and Howlin Wolf hated this record, which was surprisingly used right on the cover. Basically says he doesn't like it and that he didn't like his electric guitar at first either, which is a false statement. He did like his electric guitar, he just hated this record. It also became a cult classic for fans of acid rock and P-funk jazz, which is not a surprise because once you go deeper into the record, you'll see its influence on 70s funk deeply. I am very excited to get into my thoughts about this and opinions, so let's head right to it. First thing, Wolf does not change his delivery at all on this record. He lets the backing band form to him, which is the great strength of it. Electric Mud, which was cut by Muddy Waters on the same label, had a very similar experiment go on where they were trying to capitalize on the psychedelic rock of the time, like Jimi Hendrix, but Muddy Waters sounds a little lost in that record. I'm not saying it's a bad one, it's just very messy. Whereas Howlin Wolf sounds like he is taking control of this session. He may not like what's happening, but he is there to lead it, and it's all the better for it. The members of the band work around his powerful voice rather than him having to work around all of the wah-wah guitars. Also, if you're coming here for a traditional blues rock album, you're not going to find that. However, I'm surprised at the amount of hate that this record receives, because if this album had been cut by Cream or some of those other white blues psych bands of the time, even John Mayall, it would have been heralded as a masterpiece, which is what I'm going to get into a little later. The group on this album, made up of members of the Rotary Connection, is muscular, dexterous, infusing the brand of funk into the blues effortlessly, especially on the wonderful rendition of Moanin' at Midnight. It just flutters in the background while still being incredibly bluesy. I love, love, love that track. This album acts as a prelude to what would come later on in the 70s. It really reminds me of the brand of funk that Betty Davis would be doing in the mid-70s. She was the wife of Miles Davis for a brief period at the end of, near the end of the 60s, and what pushed Miles Davis to actually create Bitches Brew. It's, I mean, that's making it pretty boilerplate, but that's pretty much what happened. And this sounds like a template for what she was going to be doing in other groups like Parliament, Funkadelic, and even Sly and the Family Stone later on with There's a Riot Going On. It sounds very similar to that. Yet, Howlin Wolf and Muddy Waters were called out for being reactionary to the white man's blues, even though they were the people who inspired those individuals. They were the heroes, they were the bedrock, they were the foundation, and they continue to be, amazingly straightforward thinking and deliver incredible music. So, as you can see, I'm very much a defender of this album and this style of music. Album highlights, as I said, Moanin' at Midnight. Evil is a fantastic track where Howlin Wolf sounds like he is a fallen preacher speaking in a bar with the neon lights hitting down on him, speaking to all of the sinners that are about to enter into them about what evil is going on in the world. It's really tongue-in-cheek. I love it. And 300 Pounds of Joy is a true showcase for the band Their instruments just meld and intertwine so well in that particular moment, and it boils and boils over as Howlin Wolf keeps on crying out, "This is it, this is it." Final thoughts. If you're a traditionalist, just don't listen to this record. It's not made for you. You have plenty of other amazing Howlin Wolf, Chicago blues to choose from. But if you like experimentation, if you want to hear someone who is a harbinger of things to come, this is an underrated proto-funk masterpiece. It's more than just a novelty. So I give this record a 5 out of 5. And those are my thoughts in the Howlin Wolfs' new album. 5 out of 5. What are your thoughts on this record? Go down into the comments below, let me know. And I just want to say thank you so much today for watching, you guys. And I hope that you have a great day on your own personal basis. Cheers.